You slide out of your mother somewhere in the forests of North America, and your quills are already there, soft and flat against your body. Within the hour they start to stiffen, pressing outward one by one until your back is covered. Your mother licks the membrane away from your face so you can breathe properly, then lowers herself beside you so you can feed. A few minutes into feeding, something moves at the edge of the trees. A raccoon walks toward you slowly, with its head low and its eyes on your mother. She pulls away from you, turns to face it, and raises every quill on her back in a single motion. Then she stamps her front feet against the ground and swings her tail in a wide arc toward the raccoon's face. It stops, looks at her for a moment, then turns and walks back into the trees. Your mother settles beside you again, but before you can feed, a raven drops down from the branches above and lands a short distance away. It hops forward with its head tilting side to side, trying to get a closer look at you. Your mother doesn't stamp this time. She moves toward it fast with her quills still raised, and the raven lifts off and disappears into the branches above. By the time the light starts to fade, you've already fed twice, and your quills have hardened enough that running a hand across your back would draw blood. You stay pressed against your mother's side while she settles against the base of a wide tree. You're small, slow, and the forest already knows you're here. But your quills work, and right now that's the only thing keeping you alive. You're 2 weeks old now, and your legs are steady enough to follow your mother across the forest floor. She moves slowly between trees, with you staying close behind her. And whenever she stops to strip bark from a trunk or chew on a low branch, you watch what she takes and copy it. Some of it tastes wrong, so you drop it and try the next thing she picks. Most of what you eat comes from her example, rather than from anything you figured out yourself. One afternoon, you wander a little too far from her while she feeds, following a line of exposed roots that lead you around the base of a large tree. Then a young fox steps into view from behind the trunk with its body low and its eyes fixed on you. It's small and clearly hasn't dealt with a porcupine before, because it moves toward you without slowing down. You don't have anywhere to go, so you do the only thing your body knows how to do. You turn away from it, bunch your back upward, and drive your tail backward into its face. The fox pulls back immediately with 2 quills stuck deep in its nose and its mouth open wide. It shakes its head trying to get them loose, then turns and runs back into the trees. You stand still for a moment with your quills still raised, then lower them slowly and walk back toward your mother. She's still feeding at the same trunk and doesn't look up when you return. You press against her side and stay there for the rest of the afternoon. Your tail did exactly what it was supposed to do, and the fox learned a lesson it won't forget quickly. But a young fox with no experience is one thing. The forest has older, smarter things in it, and some of them already know how to get around your quills. You're 5 months old now, and your mother is gone. She didn't leave all at once. She just started moving further from you each day until one afternoon, you followed her trail to the edge of a clearing, and she wasn't there at the end of it. You walk the area for a while looking for her, then stop and start looking for food instead. You find a stretch of trees you've never stripped before and work through them slowly, moving from trunk to trunk and taking what you can reach from the ground. Then you discover something you weren't looking for. A large bone lies half buried at the base of a tree, dry and old, and without really understanding why, you start chewing on it. You work your way along the length of it, and something in your body pulls you to keep going. Your body needs calcium and sodium to keep your quills dense and your teeth strong, and bone is one of the best sources in the forest. You stay with it for a long time. A few days later, you find a stretch of ground that feels different under your claws, softer and looser than the rest. You dig into it and chew on the exposed soil, pulling minerals straight from the earth. You come back to this patch every few days and it becomes part of your routine. Then one evening you push into a gap between 2 roots that you want to use as a resting spot, and find a larger porcupine already inside. It turns toward you with its quills raised and its teeth going, and you back out immediately. You try 2 more spots that week and find signs of other porcupines at both of them. This part of the forest is already claimed, so you push further out until the trees around you are yours alone. The forest is bigger than you expected, and most of it is already taken. But you found your patch, and for now, nothing is challenging you for it. That won't last forever. You're 8 months old now, and the forest looks different. The trees have less on them, the low branches are stripped back, and the plants you usually eat have died back to the ground. Food is harder to find, so you do something you've never done before. You climb. You go up a tall pine with your claws gripping the bark and your weight pushing into each hold, moving slowly until you reach the branches where the bark is still soft enough to eat. You strip long pieces away with your teeth and chew through them one by one, working your way around the trunk until the branch is bare. You've been living off bark for weeks when you pick up a trail of scratch marks running along the base of a nearby tree. You follow it without thinking, and that's when the fisher cat drops down from the branches above you and lands between you and the trunk. It's long and low with its body already coiling to move, and unlike the fox, it doesn't come straight at you. It circles instead, staying just out of tail range with its eyes on your face. You back up against the tree and raise every quill you have, but it keeps circling, cutting off each direction you try to move. Every time you turn to face it, it steps the other way trying to get around to your nose. You turn again and again, pressing your back outward and stamping your feet against the ground. This goes on for a long time before the fisher finally pulls back and moves away through the trees. You stay against the trunk until it's completely gone. You made it through, but only because you kept turning fast enough. A slower porcupine, or an older one, wouldn't have lasted that long. And this fisher will come back with more experience next time. You're 1.5 years old now, and you've built something worth keeping. There's a hollow in a wide oak that you sleep in most days. A line of trees you strip in rotation so they have time to grow back. And a stretch of mineral-rich soil near a dry creek bed that you return to every few days to chew on the exposed earth. You've got a system, and it works. Then one morning you come back to your oak and find scratch marks around the entrance that aren't yours. You push inside anyway and find another porcupine already in there with its back toward you and its quills half raised. It's roughly your size but broader across the back, and it doesn't move when you enter. You back out and wait near the base of the tree, but it doesn't come out either. You spend the next several days trying to push it out through persistence alone. You return to the oak repeatedly, you scratch around the entrance, and you sit at the base of the trunk for long stretches with your quills raised. The other porcupine comes out occasionally and the two of you stand close with your teeth going and your tails raised. But neither of you makes full contact. Then you go back to waiting. The standoff costs you more than you expect. While you're spending time at the oak, you're missing feeding windows at your best trees, and by the time the other porcupine finally moves on after nearly 2 weeks, your body has lost weight that took months to put on. You move back into the oak and go straight to feeding, working through your usual rotation faster than normal to make up the loss. You've got your territory back, but holding it took more out of you than any fight would have. And mating season is close, which means more porcupines will be moving through your range very soon. You're 2 years old now, and a female has been moving through the edge of your range for 2 days. You follow her trail across the forest floor, and when you finally find her at the base of a pine tree, another male is already there. He's bigger than you with broader shoulders and longer quills, and he's positioned himself between you and her with his back raised. You don't back off. Instead, you move to the side and start making your way around him, trying to get closer to the female without coming within tail range of the male. He turns to cut you off every time, so the two of you end up circling the same tree for a long stretch with neither of you making contact. Then you try something different. You stop moving and just stay close, sitting near the base of a root and holding your position while he keeps turning and repositioning to watch you. He does this for a long time before he starts to tire of it, and eventually he moves away from the female to push you back. The moment he does, you walk straight past him toward her. The female controls everything from that point. She decides when and whether the mating happens, and you wait on her terms completely. It's brief, and when it's done, she walks away through the trees without looking back. You're alone again within minutes. The bigger male is gone too, disappeared somewhere into the trees while you weren't watching. You go back to your regular feeding rotation like nothing happened, working your way along the line of trees you've been stripping all season. Somewhere in the forest, a porcupine is growing. You won't know about it, and you won't be involved. But in about 7 months, the cycle you started will be born, and it will slide out into the same forest you did. You're 4 years old now, and your quills are the longest they've ever been, covering your back and sides in a dense layer that no young predator would go near. You know your range the way you know your own body, every good tree, every mineral patch, every safe hold in the bark when something comes close. For a long time, nothing has seriously tested you. Then one afternoon, you come down from a feeding tree and find a fisher cat waiting at the base. This one is bigger than the last, with older markings and a way of moving that tells you immediately it has done this before. It doesn't rush, and it doesn't circle randomly. It cuts your angles off one by one with short, precise movements, pushing you away from the trunk so you have nothing to back against. You try to turn and press your quills outward, but it's already repositioning before you finish the motion, staying just ahead of where your tail swings. It gets close enough to rake the side of your face with one paw before you manage to slam your tail into its shoulder, driving 3 quills deep into the joint. It pulls back hard and shakes its leg, but it doesn't leave. It repositions again, and this time it goes for your nose. You drop your head fast and take the hit across your brow instead, which gives it 1 quill in the paw but costs you a gash above your eye that starts leaking fluid down your face. You back into a gap between 2 roots and hold there until it finally gives up and moves away through the trees. You stay in the gap for a long time after it's gone. The gash above your eye closes over the next few days, but the fisher took something from you that doesn't come back as easily. Your confidence in this range is gone, so you move, pushing further out until the trees around you are completely unfamiliar. Starting over costs more at 4 years old than it would have at 1. But you find a new oak, a new mineral patch, and a new line of trees to strip. And for a while, things are quiet again. You're 7 years old now, and you move slower than you used to. Your claws still grip bark well enough, and your quills are still full and long, but the climbs that used to take you a few minutes now take longer, and you stop more often on the way up to let your legs recover. You've been working the same tall pine at the edge of your range for several days, going higher each time as the lower bark runs out. Today you go higher than you have before, pulling yourself up past the point where the trunk starts to thin, because the bark up here is softer and easier to strip. You find a wide branch and move out along it with your claws locked into the surface, stripping bark as you go. Then you reach a spot where the branch forks, and you move onto the thinner side without slowing down. The branch bends under your weight. You dig your claws in harder and keep stripping, working quickly to get what you can before moving back. Then the wood gives a sharp crack and drops. You go with it, your claws pulling free from the surface as the branch swings down and breaks away from the trunk completely, taking you with it through the lower branches on the way down. You hit the forest floor on your side with the broken branch landing across your back. Your quills go straight into the wood above you and pin you there for a moment before the branch rolls. You don't get up. Your legs move once against the ground, then stop. A few days later, a young raccoon finds you at the base of the pine. It sniffs around the edges of your quills carefully, trying to find a way in, and after a while it does.